My dear students, today we need to discuss the use of a biodata in the application forms. The second kind of application forms uses biographical data to arrive at the conclusions about likely future performance in a job. So biographical data can be used to predict the likely performance of a candidate in the job. It is called the biodata, and sometimes we call that it as a awaited application blank. The answer format most of the time in the biodata application form is usually multiple choice questions, so that the form is susceptible to machine marking, which in terms of time is an advantage. So in a biodata application form, we use the multiple choice questions. Why we use the multiple choice question? The best benefit of it is that you can mark multiple choice questions through a machine, and that marking would save your time as a recruiter or as a selector. So questions might be like this. For example, the one question I would like to phrase for you: did your parents? And then there are four options. One option: always help you with your schoolwork. That is the option 1. Option 2: usually help you with your schoolwork. That is an option 2. Option 3: seldom help you with your schoolwork. And option 4: never help you with your schoolwork. So these are the 4 different options, and you have to mark one. So it is a multiple choice question. But this question is very subjective. This question is very soft. So just look at another question which is more objective. For example, how many houses did you own by the age of 25? And you have an option 4. Number 1 option: 0 house owned by the age of 25. Number 2 option: 1 house owned by the age of 25. Number 3 option: 2 houses owned by the age of 25. And number 4 option: more than 2 houses owned by the age of 25. So you have to mark 1. And that data is very objective data. That data is very hard data. It has been clear that hard data, also called as objective data, is more verifiable. You can verify the number of houses owned by someone at the age of 25 through a real estate document. And that data is more stable. That data is more reliable and valid as compared to the data which is collected as a soft data, because it is a very subjective. That question was a previous question, that did your parents help you to perform your work of the school? So always better to ask hard data as compared to the soft data, because hard data is more verifiable as compared to the soft data, which is not verifiable most of the time. So variables like highest qualification and birth orders must be preferred as compared to the capital punishment, or whether your parents helped you with your schoolwork. So if you would ask question about the qualification, if you would ask question about the employment experience in terms of the years, if you would ask question about the owning of the house by the age of 25, if you would ask question about the profitability in terms of dollars or in terms of the rupees, those questions would be more objective questions. That data would be more objective, and the hard data, which is easily verifiable, as compared to the data which is more subjective, which is more soft. So soft data cannot be easily verifiable. So whenever you have to develop question for the biodata application form, you have to put the hard questions, you have to put the objective data in it. In the USA, biodata has been shown to be used successfully to predict successes in a different jobs. For example, the jobs of a researcher, engineers in the oil industry, or research scientist, a pharmaceutical industry, a pharmaceutical researcher, and the bus driver and the police officer. So different kind of professions, we can use the biodata, and the biodata can help you to predict the performance of the person in a different profession. So not only in the USA, in all the developed countries, and even in the Pakistan, we can use biodata as an application forms to predict the job performance of the person in the organization. Biodata has a link with the equal opportunities as well, my dear students. Biodata also particular concerns on an equal opportunities front. For example, it includes items like sex, means gender, race, disability, convictions, height and weight, and marital status, and many more. So number of questions can be asked about equal employment opportunities in the biodata application forms. Biodata has also linked with honesty. Biodata measures are definitely fakeable. Overstating salary is very common. Some people try to overstate their salary in their previous organization. Then they may call part-time work to the full-time work. They just want to exaggerate some of their practices which they are not even doing in the organization. So such kind of data is in the biodata need to be linked with the honesty of the person. So in principle, all biodata answers can be checked by positive vetting, but employees know that this can take a long time for the potential employers, and the potential employers will not bother to run through such kind of checks. So the employees are very clever, and they most of the time try to exaggerate most of their information in the biodata application form. Hence, they can risk faking. Much the same can be paid about the competency-based approach, except that faking is a harder work. So we have to link biodata application form with honesty, and we have to link biodata application form with the equal employment opportunities, so we can reach at the conclusion that how that person would perform in the job in the future in the organization.